Morning, saints. Morning. I wanted to briefly talk about something that's a little controversial. Sex in the kingdom. Sex in heaven. I had one brother tell me that if there is not sex in the kingdom, he don't want to go. Call me cardinal, he said. But he don't want to be in a kingdom where there is no sex. Why do I say there's no sex in the kingdom? I'm just giving you a couple of verses of why I say it, and then we can talk about it. Hit the comments and we'll talk about it. What do you think about it? This is my method. This is how I came up to it. All right. Well, we know when Christ was going back and forth with the Pharisees and Sadducees, and they was asking them about the law of the brother and the deceased brother and who gonna marry the wife in the kingdom and so forth. This is Matthew 22. I think it's in Mark too. Also, Matthew 22:20s. And Christ responded, "Hey, during at the resurrection, you'll be like the angels. Men and women aren't given unto marriage. You'll be like the angels. What does that mean? Not given unto marriage. What does that mean? All right. That's one. That may not be enough for you. Like, nah, but I don't know about that. It may not be enough for you. Okay. We know that in the law, and I don't know where that is, but in the law, you become unclean when you do. Okay, when you do the monkey business, you become unclean. Those fluids make you unclean. The sheets are unclean. Anything that stuff doesn't touch is unclean. And you would need to, wait to a certain time period. I think it's the morning or the next morning before you become clean. But you have to bathe too, though. You're going to have to wash yourself and wash those sheets. So we know that makes you unclean. All right. Also, in Exodus 19, Moses is preparing Israel to see Christ. I mean, not to see, but to see the Most High on Mount Sinai. And some people will argue that's Christ, but that's a whole nother situation, And it's something we gonna have to talk about. I still don't really know what IUIC believe. I still don't understand their belief. Now Genesis does say something with their West Huff breakdown. It seems like, what are you saying with that Theos? And then, Sons of Thunder have this thing, but what are they really saying with it? But sorry, y'all. Let me get back to the point. The Father on Mount Sinai, Moses is preparing them for that. And Exodus 19:15 is the point, but, read a couple verses up, couple verses down, etc. But Moses, in order to prepare them for the presence of the Lord, upon Mount Sinai, they had 3 days, and he told them to sanctify them and told them to abstain from the monkey business. All right, told them to abstain from the monkey business. You cannot be doing the monkey business and make yourself unclean and come into the presence of the Lord. There's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem if you do that. That still might not be enough for you. And again, with the unclean stuff, we know that it's a law because even Mary, with when the Messiah was born, she went there and took the sacrifice and made a sacrifice for the purification. All right, she went and did that. And I've seen arguments back and forth with that and with Brother Alton Johnson and some of these Catholics, you know, with them saying Mary didn't have sin and Mary wasn't this and Mary wasn't that, but she had to, a sacrifice was taken for that purification situation. Whatever that means. But anyway, also, so you know, the uncleanness thing is a problem, all right, with the fluids. In the Revelations 21:27, it says no unclean thing will be there in the kingdom. No unclean thing will be in the kingdom. And for me, sex, monkey business is an unclean thing. It makes you unclean. All right. And no unclean thing can be around the Most High. Even doing the monkey business cannot be around the Most High. Now you have to ask yourself, and this is the thing, a lot of you don't want to be in the kingdom of heaven. What if the kingdom of heaven was just us standing in front of the Lord? And I was asking, you know, I be saying this to brothers, you know, what if it's just standing in front of the Lord? Standing in front of the Lord, singing, holy, holy, holy. Thou art wonderful. Thou art our counselor. What if it's just standing in front and worshiping God? And that's for eternity. What if that's all it is? Do you want to be there? See, a lot of us make this whole thing about us and what it is for us instead of what he designed us for. He's the main character, not us. And what do we see when we see this certain glimpses of the kingdom? What do we see? And I'm gonna tell you this also. When I say the no unclean thing, so anything dealing, and then again, this is my methodology for me understanding what's the millennial reign and what's the eternal kingdom. Anything dealing with sex, I know I'm not putting it in Revelation 21. I'm not putting it in the eternal kingdom, because no unclean thing can be there, and there's no temple. But I could put it in, I would put it in the millennial reign of Christ on earth, that those things can be transpiring. And then you have a temple for clean and unclean. And then brothers will say, well, and this is just speculation, y'all, we getting into some fluff. Brothers say, well, what, you know, some Christians, especially Christians that you know, they're against dispensationalism, they're against thinking, you know, they think everything's been done, you know, we gonna skip over all of that and just go into the kingdom. Why would there be another kingdom? Why would he establish that? And the reality, you know, we don't know you know, how he's coming back, you know. And when I say how he's coming back, meaning if that form is a form something like the Father, where you can't get too close, you can't be around it like that, unclean. It's, you know, it's not, yeah, is it gonna be in a fleshly vessel? He's coming back in a fleshly vessel where you could do that. But if he's coming back uncorruptible and with all power and all, you know, maybe, you know, and again, it's speculate, maybe you can't be around it, and that you need those purification situations back with him on this earth, just like you needed it when you know, when the Most High was dwelling in them tabernacles, in the tabernacle, inside of that, you know, with the cherubims in the ark. Before you go into that holy of holies, you had to be in a certain order. You had to have a certain cleanness about you. And maybe those things come back into place when Christ returns and reestablishes a place of a holy of holy type situation. That could be And that's just me speculating, y'all. You know, that's just fluff. But the main part, y'all hit the comments, tell me what y'all think. Shalom.